Picture this, you're invited to a dinner party hosted by one of London's most notorious crime families, and by the time dessert arrives, there are literal police helicopters circling overhead and the hosts are being dragged away in handcuffs while singing Irish revolutionary songs. Welcome to Beggars Banquet, MobLand's penultimate episode that serves up family dysfunction with a side of explosive violence in a main course of betrayal that would make the Last Supper look like a peaceful brunch. This episode abandons the chess metaphors we've grown accustomed to and instead plays a twisted game of mummies and daddies. And I'm not talking about the innocent childhood version. We're talking about power dynamics, family hierarchies, and the ultimate question: who really wears the trousers in the Harrigan Empire? Harry Da Souza, the silent kingmaker. Let's dive into the most intriguing transformation of this episode: Harry Da Souza's evolution from loyal soldier to potential puppet master. Tom Hardy's character has been the steady heartbeat of this series, but in Beggars Banquet, we see him operating in the shadows with a calculated precision that's thrilling and unsettling. That moment when Harry catches Alice red-handed with DNA-covered martini glass, my heart was racing. But instead of the confrontation we expect, he simply tells her to go. The cinematography here is masterful. Harry's face half shrouded in shadow, the blue police lights beginning to flash through the windows behind him. It's a visual metaphor for his dual nature, part of the family, yet standing apart from it. The way Harry plays this scene with such understated intensity, there's a weariness in his eyes that speaks volumes. Is he the rat the Harrigans have been hunting all along? When Kat McAllister tells him, "It's you and me now," I got chills. The power dynamics are shifting like tectonic plates, and Harry seems to be the one orchestrating the earthquake.
The Harrigan implosion, Maeve Vs Conrad. Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan deliver what might be the most viscerally uncomfortable dinner scene I've witnessed on television. The way Maeve's egg monologue starts almost whimsically, listing every egg dish known to man, before pivoting into a brutal metaphor about male fragility. Pure dark comedy gold. Mirren's delivery of "keep it safe out of the fridge, suck its cock from time to time, but don't listen to a word it says, especially when it's pissed," had me simultaneously laughing and cringing. The dining room itself becomes a battleground. The warm lighting and elegant table settings providing a stark contrast to the verbal warfare erupting between the hosts. When Conrad pulls that knife and Maeve smashes the wine bottle, the camera work becomes almost handheld, creating a sense of chaos that mirrors the family's disintegration. What fascinates me is how quickly they unite when the police arrive. Their rendition of 20 Men from Dublin Town, a song about Irish resistance, transforms them from bitter enemies to defiant partners. It's a reminder that for all their dysfunction, the Harrigans are bound by something deeper than business. Kevin's dark catharsis, confronting his past. Paddy Considine's storyline reaches its brutal climax in this episode, and while some critics found it mishandled, I found it heartbreakingly authentic. The scene where Kevin confronts his abuser, Rusby, is shot in a cramped, dimly lit kitchen, the claustrophobia of the space mirroring Kevin's psychological imprisonment. What struck me most was how ordinary Rusby appears. He's not the monster we've been led to imagine, just a pathetic old man who can't even remember his crimes. When he asks Kevin, "Is it possible that you've imagined it?" I wanted to throw something at the screen. The gaslighting, even years later, is infuriating. The moment that breaks Kevin, when Rusby asks Kevin, "Do you have a child?" is devastating in context. We know Kevin's complicated relationship with Eddie, the possibility that Eddie might be his brother rather than his son. That single question triggers everything Kevin has been suppressing, and bang, it's over. The way Kevin plays this scene, the tears, the trembling hands, the mix of rage and relief, it's raw and uncomfortable in the best way. Alice and Tattersall, a dance with the devil. The dynamic between Alice and Tattersall is deliciously twisted. Toby Jones transforms Tattersall into this seedy, manipulative creature who sees right through Alice's professional facade. When he tells her, "Your leg is going like a pneumatic drill," that's not fear, it's excitement. It's such an invasive observation that perfectly captures their predator-prey relationship. Emily Barber's Alice is fascinating because she's simultaneously repulsed and drawn to Tattersall's darkness. The way she accepts the dinner invitation, despite every instinct screaming danger, it speaks to that adrenaline junkie side of her character that's been hinted at throughout the series. Although Tattersall left her no choice, but yet she still wanted to do this.
The episode's visual language is rich with meaning. The Harrigan estate, usually shot to emphasize its grandeur, now feels like a fortress under siege. The dinner table becomes a stage for family warfare, with the camera often pulling back to show the full tableau. Everyone trapped in their roles, playing out this twisted family drama. The use of lighting is particularly effective. The warm golden tones of the dinner scene create a false sense of security that's shattered by the harsh blue police lights flooding in at the end. It's like watching a painting being torn apart. Personal reactions and emotional impact. Watching this episode left me emotionally drained. The dinner scene in particular had me on edge throughout. There's something deeply uncomfortable about watching a family tear itself apart from the inside, especially when it's performed with such theatrical intensity by Mirren and Brosnan. I found myself conflicted about Harry's choices. Part of me wanted him to stay loyal to the family that's been his life, but another part recognised the pragmatism in aligning with power rather than sentiment. Tom Hardy's performance captures this internal conflict beautifully. You can see the calculations happening behind those eyes. Overall, assessment and future predictions. Beggars Banquet is MobLand at its most ambitious and chaotic. While it occasionally stumbles under the weight of its multiple storylines, the central dinner sequence is television at its most compellingly uncomfortable. The performances, particularly from Mirren, Brosnan and Hardy, elevate material that could have been melodramatic into something genuinely compelling. The direction creates a sense of mounting dread that explodes in the final act, leaving us perfectly positioned for what promises to be an explosive finale. Looking ahead to the finale, I predict Harry will fully embrace his role as the new power broker, possibly with Kat McAllister's backing. The Harrigans' arrest can't be the end. They're too wily for that. I suspect we'll see Harry orchestrating their release while simultaneously ensuring his own position is secured. The question is, will he save them to serve under him, or will he let them fall to clear his own path to power? Final thoughts? The beauty of Beggars Banquet is its willingness to blow up the status quo. After 8 episodes of careful manoeuvring, watching everything explode in a single dinner party is both satisfying and anxiety-inducing. The episode title, borrowed from the Rolling Stones, is indeed a banquet for beggars, everyone scrambling for scraps of power as the empire crumbles. What did you think of Harry's decision to let Alice go? Do you believe he's been the rat all along, or is he playing a longer game we haven't seen yet? And that ending, Conrad and Maeve united in song even as they're hauled away, did it give you chills or did it feel forced? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, in MobLand, everyone's playing mummies and daddies, but the real question is, who's going to be left standing when the game ends?